Besides being two of the biggest music stars of all time, Paul McCartney and Elton John are two powerful men who have made a lot of money throughout their careers. But have you ever wondered which of them has the most luxurious life? In this video, you'll see a fierce battle between Paul McCartney and Elton John. Cars! Both artists are fascinated by beautiful cars, but which one has the most expensive and luxurious vehicles? Some of the cars that have passed through Paul McCartney's garage are a $30,000 Ford Consul Classic 315, a $33,000 Ford Bronco 198, a $35,000 Land Rover Series I-86 station wagon from 1955. His favorite, a $37,000 Chevrolet C5 Corvette, a $65,000 1973 Rolls-Royce Corniche, a $85,000 Austin Healey 3000 from 1966, a $130,000 Lexus LS600H, a $180,000 Lamborghini S2 Espada 1972, a Mini Cooper from 1965 that was auctioned off for $235,000. Raising the values up even higher, Paul McCartney owned a historic Lamborghini 400 GT from 1967 that was sold off at auction for $400,000. But, without a doubt, the most iconic car that passed through the singer's garage was his Aston Martin DB5 from 1964, and it was inside this car that Paul wrote the song Hey Jude. To give you an idea of how precious this car is, it sold at an auction in 2017 for an impressive $1,300,000. Elton John, on the other hand, once owned an incredible collection of vehicles, including a $35,000 Audi A1, a $45,000 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow from 1975, a $65,000 Bentley Corniche from 1975, a $90,000 Bentley Continental Convertible from 1985, a $105,000 Jaguar E-Type Roadster from 1965, a $180,000 Audi R8 Spider, a $200,000 Rolls-Royce Phantom Limousine from 1973, a $220,000 Bentley Continental Flying Spur, a $300,000 Ferrari Dino GT from 1972, a $450,000 Rolls-Royce Phantom, a $600,000 Bentley S1 Continental Sport Saloon from 1956, and even an incredible McLaren 720S, a car made for those who are a fan of speed. The vehicle is equipped with a powerful V8 engine that is capable of accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in an unbelievable 2.8 seconds. And despite being a supercar, Elton John didn't keep it. That's because the vehicle was a gift from the carmaker themselves to be donated to his charity, which raised over $850,000. And all of these cars could be just a part of his collection. This is because it is speculated that he once owned dozens of collectible vehicles. Although McCartney owned a more expensive car, Elton John had a more valuable collection, so let's consider this round a draw. Points for both. Real estate in the United States. When it comes to acquiring good properties to live in, both musicians don't give up a lot of comfort. But who has had the most expensive real estate in the United States? Starting with Paul McCartney. He once had a triplex apartment located on Manhattan's privileged Fifth Avenue, overlooking Central Park. The 3,500 square foot residence is filled with floor-to-ceiling windows, which allows for lush landscaping. The apartment has a classic and retro architecture and features colorful wallpapers, plus lots of wooden furniture. The area is spread over 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. It is known that McCartney bought this property in 2015 for $15,500,000, but after holding onto the property for quite a while, he ended up selling it at a loss. He also once owned a 2-acre estate, including a French-style home located in Hollywood Hills, California. Built in 1930, the 4,700 square foot residence cost $4 million out of Paul's pockets at the time of purchase, but today the property is probably worth double that amount. In this same region, many sources speculate that the artist once lived in an incredible mansion that was also home to other celebrities, such as Madonna. Built in the early 1940s, the 15,000 square foot residence sits on a lot of nearly 1.5 acres. The architectural landscape features a vast wooded backyard involving lush gardens, stone walkways, and beautiful views. The main door opens into the hallway, which leads into a cozy living room with a grand piano and ceilings with the visible wood structures that provide a rustic design. The main house is spacious and offers 2 master suites and 3 family bedrooms, as well as 3 bathrooms and 7 sinks. For entertainment, the property offers a movie theater with a huge screen, a 2-lane vintage bowling alley, a complete game room, a well-illuminated tennis court, and an area for practicing golf. In order to have fun on the warmer days, there is a swimming pool and a spa available to the residents. In addition, there is a guest house with 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms in order to accommodate visitors in comfort. It is not known for sure if Paul McCartney bought or rented this beautiful property, but what is known is that the rent is $100,000 and the house is worth approximately $23 million. Elton John, for his part, is not far behind. For when Elton John and his husband are in California, he can stay at their 2 neighboring residences in Beverly Hills, one of the city's prime areas. With a very colorful and pop design, the residence is about 4,200 square feet, featuring a luxurious living area that extend over 3 rooms. In addition to lush artwork throughout the house, Elton made sure to put in some innovative details, such as in the dining room and the different, though well-equipped, kitchen. With 4 large bedrooms and 5 private bathrooms, the mansion also features a large common area, highlighted by a beautiful backyard with a pool. And to get that house, some sources estimate that the singer had to invest around $11 million. But still unsatisfied with merely one property, he decided to purchase the neighboring mansion, which, although no information about its interior is available, it was reported that Elton shelled out around $8,500,000 for it. The pop star seems to love Beverly Hills so much that in 2015 he purchased a gigantic mansion in the area. It was reported that he purchased the estate for $33 million, but after he was done with it, it was owned by Robbie Williams and currently by the rapper Drake. Elton John also likes to invest in vertical properties, with him owning a luxury duplex apartment on the Park Place on Peachtree, located in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. To give you an idea of how luxurious and exclusive this building is, other celebrities have lived there, including the TV host Oprah Winfrey. Entering Elton's duplex, we can see that it is filled with artwork, as well as exquisite furniture and a mirrored finish in almost every room. Although there are not so many records of the apartment's interior, it is known that the flat has 4 bedrooms and 5 luxurious bathrooms. And in order to live in this sophisticated building, some sources estimate that Elton John had to pay about $1,800,000. And because he has a more valuable real estate portfolio, Elton John wins this round. Score 1 for the singer. Aircraft. Both music legends like to get around in modern jets, but which of them has the most luxurious aircraft? McCartney, for example, doesn't mind spending a lot of money on chartered jets. The rock legend rarely travels on commercial aircraft. After all, he likes comfort and privacy. To get an idea of prices, depending on the model and size of the jet chosen, 1 hour of flight can cost up to $20,000. Meanwhile, Elton John's plane is the Bombardier Global 6000, one of the largest and most modern jets in the world. With a range of over 6,800 miles. Being around 100 feet long, this large aircraft manages to offer all the luxury one could imagine. Its interior has the capacity to carry up to 18 passengers at great comfort. Although it is not known how much Elton paid for this jet, it is estimated that the latest jets of this model can reach the pricey sum of more than $40 million. So it's clear that Elton John wins this round. Point for the Brit. Exaggerated luxuries. To live comfortably, both artists don't like to skimp, but which of them has the most extravagant expenses? Of course, Paul McCartney can afford to spend his money on superfluous things. He always makes a point of attending interviews and events very well dressed, and to complement his looks, Paul owns a designer watch. The model in question is a Patek Philippe Aquanaut, a sporty design accessory with a rubber bracelet, having only 1,000 limited units produced, which justifies its marked up price of $80,000. And it seems that the singer really likes this watch model, because he has another one with a green dial. When it comes to dressing well, Elton John has been seen wearing beautiful watches, such as a $34,000 Frank Muller-Century Curvex, a $60,000 Rolex Day-Date, a $120,000 Rolex Yachtmaster Rainbow, a $130,000 Hublot Spirit of Big Bang Yellow Sapphire, a $180,000 Rolex Cosmograph Daytona, His glasses are another piece of his style that Elton John loves to spend his money on, going so far as even revealing in an interview that he has around 250,000 types of glasses at home, which seems like quite a lot, but not for the pop star. And for being quite the romantic guy, Elton John has already spent $450,000 in flowers to please one of his boyfriends. But no extravagance beats his spending on art items, being considered a major collector of works by one of the world's greatest visual artists. To get an idea of values, it is estimated that his collection is so valuable that it can reach over $100 million. And since Elton John's spending is higher, he's taking this round. Point for him. Other properties. Everyone knows that the two musicians have lived in many places, but which one has the best real estate? In the region of Old Windsor in England, for example, he owns a property that can very well be considered a palace. This sophisticated residence is 34 acres in size and looks more like a villa that the singer built to be his very own castle. With classic rooms that are more reminiscent of a luxury museum, the palace has medieval architecture with great works of art and glamorous gardens. Besides the large extension of land, the mansion even has some greenhouses for gardening, and also an exclusive tennis court, two things that are known to be hobbies to the singer, perfect for high-ranking guests. The value of our singer's castle is not known for sure, but it is assumed to be around £4 million. Another famous residence belonging to Elton John is his Mont-Alban castle in Nice, France. The palace, known as the Summer House, has a rustic and classic architecture to suit the refined taste of its owner. With large rooms and luxurious furnishings, the palace has plenty of space, perfect for Elton to host for his most intimate guests. In addition, the mansion has a large recreation area and a swimming pool, and in addition it is close to the beach, so the singer and his friends can bathe when the days get warmer. According to the newspapers, the Summer Palace is valued at about £15 million or $20 million. Paul McCartney also owns other properties. Currently, the singer of the Beatles owns a few properties located in England, including his giant 150-acre estate called Blossomwood Farm, located in the village of Peasmarsh in East Sussex County. When he was married to his second wife Linda McCartney, Paul lived a good portion of his life with his family at High Park Farm, Kintyre, Scotland. Purchased in 1966, the property was a quiet, peaceful retreat for the singer to raise his family away from the highlights. Leading a very simple life on this property that kept expanding until reaching over 1,000 acres of land, the artist enjoyed raising many animals, and it was during this time that he developed his support of veganism. However, after the unfortunate death of his wife Linda in 1998, Paul began to greatly reduce his visits to this amazing country estate. As we don't know the value of Paul's properties, we'll consider this round a draw. Points for both. Net worth. As two music stars, there's no doubt that they have amassed huge fortunes. But who has the biggest accumulated net worth? Starting with Elton John. In the days when record sales were one of the main sources of income for singers, for example, he had sold over 300 million albums worldwide, becoming one of the best-selling artists of all time, which probably earned him hundreds of millions of dollars. Currently, the singer's biggest source of income is the shows he does all over the world. The amount Elton receives for each performance varies greatly depending on the size of the event's production. With his concert The $1 Million Piano, for example, it is speculated that he received over $500,000 for each performance. As for his Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour, some sources estimate that he made about $358 million spread over his 179 shows around the world, which represents an average revenue of $2 million per performance. Don't forget that the artist also has other major sources of income. As a businessman, for example, he owns Rock Entertainment, a company that specializes in managing artists' careers. The digital world is also considered another major source of income for Elton John. On YouTube alone, for example, adding up all his videos on the platform, the number exceeds 2,600,000,000 views, which may have already earned him more than $8 million. However, on Spotify he stands out even more. Adding his 10 most listened songs, the number almost reaches that of 5 billion plays, which may have generated him something around $20 million. Elton John also manages to make a lot of money from his image. This is because he is a rock star with a good reputation with the public, which ends up enticing the interests of several companies. Among the big brands that have already invested in order to associate their products to the singer are, for example, Sneakers, Uber Eats, Pepsi, among others. To get an idea of the amount of money he received for each advertisement, it is speculated in the media that he received around £5 million for a John Lewis Company commercial. But besides knowing how to make a lot of money, Elton John also likes to help people in need. He is a celebrity well known for supporting various social causes, including having his own project, the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which aims to act in HIV prevention and to help people who are already living with the virus. Since its inception, the organization has raised over $500 million and helped save the lives of over 5 million people around the world. And it's no wonder that according to Forbes magazine, in 2020 Elton John was considered the 14th highest paid celebrity in the world, with an annual income of $81 million. And if you consider all of the sources of income throughout his career, it's estimated that Elton John has already amassed a net worth of over $500 million, a figure that could be much higher if he didn't spend his money so much so often. Paul McCartney is not far behind. There's no doubt that Paul McCartney is among the richest rock stars in history. After all, he's had over 60 years of a thunderous career, selling millions of records and gathering crowds at concerts. While still a member of the Beatles, the artist achieved 6 gold records and sold over 100 million singles. In the years that he tours extensively, Paul easily earns $70 million on his own. To give you an idea, the Beatles co-founder has grossed just over $100 million from solo shows in 2019, according to Forbes magazine. But in addition to that source of income, he earns tens of millions a year in royalties and licensing fees. These fees are earned both from his own music and from a valuable portfolio of other artists' royalties through his record label, MPL Communications. This company holds the copyright to songs by singers like Buddy Holly, Carl Perkins, and many others. Not to mention the money he has already received for the various films and documentaries about the trajectory of the Beatles and his life. Currently, at the age of 80, Paul McCartney has an estimated net worth of $1,280 million and is considered the richest musician in the world. In other words, Paul McCartney wins this round. Point for him. At the end of this fight, we had 3 points for Paul McCartney against 5 points for Elton John, making him the winner of this battle. But if you think there are still other arguments to defend one of the two, write your best justification below. Hey, you like the video? So don't forget about leave your like and comment, and tell some suggestions of another videos, and hopefully we gonna do it. All about channel, Dios to satisfy your curiosity.